Hello my friends, welcome to this page for Study Buddy. If you find yourself on this page, I take it you have taken the necessary steps that are needed for you to make sure you are well prepared for your mature age entrance test, which will consist of the English proficiency test as well as a numeracy test, which is another fancy way of saying mathematics. So I will be your tutor and trick giver so that you ensure you pass that test without any problems on your part. I will give you all the tricks that I've learned over the years teaching this course, and I'll make sure you understand each and every concept in a very easy to follow method. So in this video, I am only going to show you a little bit of what we are going to cover when you sign up for the class. So this video does not cover the entire class, it just covers a little bit of the numeracy paper, which is the mathematics paper, so that you can have a feel of how I teach, how I speak, and make your decision whether or not you want to join our class and join some of the students who have already registered. So welcome to the class, and I will now get to work out some questions in the 2016 August numeracy paper for mature age so that you can familiarize yourself with some of the concepts. Let's get started. If 1 liter of diesel costs $11.25, how much will it take to fill a 50-liter tank with diesel if the tank was already half full? So one thing you have to watch out when you are doing this numeracy test is the English and the details that the question is supplying you. We are told there's a 50-liter tank which is half full. Yeah, half full. So if it is half full, we know how much do you need to fill it up. So what is needed to fill up is just half of 50. So we need 25 liters. Now we know that each liter is costing $11.25. So 25 multiplied by $11.25. So like we said, you have your calculator with you so that it can speed up the calculation process when you reach that stage. So it's $281.25. $281.25. Right. Next, Andrew is 3 years older than Miriam. So we have Andrew and we have Mariam. Okay, not Miriam, Mariam. 3 years older, so we know he's more. And then Mariam is 7 years younger than Piet. Mariam again is younger. All right. Now one thing you can see is that we are given comparison of Andrew and Mariam, and then Mariam and Piet. So what is clear here is that Mariam is something in common between Andrew and Piet. So what we will then do, we will let Mariam's age equal to, we can call it X. Now we start using our X. Right, so if we know that Mariam's age is X, let's now talk about X, which is Mariam's age, in relation to Andrew. So if Mariam is X years old and we know that Andrew is 3 years older than Mariam, it means Andrew's age would then be, therefore, then Andrew will be equal to X plus 3. So that we know that Andrew is 3 years older, right? We also look at Pierre. Pierre, they said Mariam is 7 years younger than Pierre. So it's, in other words, we know that Pierre is 7 years older than Mariam, right? Mariam is 7 years younger if you look from this Mariam side. But if you look from Pierre's side, you will say Pierre is older than Mariam. Right, so if we look in that relationship, we know that if Mariam is X, for him to be younger than Pierre by 7 years, it means Pierre has to be X plus 7 as well. So that we can see that when you compare X plus 7 with X, we know that Pierre is 7 more. When you compare X plus 3 with X, we know that Andrew is 3 years more. So those are their ages. So if we have to arrange them from the youngest, we know Mariam is the youngest because he has an age of X, followed by Andrew, and then finally Pierre. So that's simple and that's it. Now they said if Pierre is 35 years old, how old is Andrew? So we already came up with an expression for what the age of Pierre is. We know that the expression says X plus 7 equals to Pierre's age. And now we are told that Pierre's age is 35. So we replace that side with 35. We know it's X plus 7. So what we are saying, this is a simple equation. We are asking ourselves, what number should I add to 7 so that it gives me 35? So if you follow the rules of equations, we simply take the 7 to the right hand side of the equal sign. So you'll be left with X here equal 35. When the 7 comes to the other side, it becomes a minus. So it's 35 minus 7. So in other words, X is 28. So if X is 28, it means Miriam is 28 years old. Then Andrew is X plus 3. Andrew is X plus 3. Or in other words, Andrew is 3 years older. So from 28, we add 3 years. So Andrew will be 31. So your answer is 31. So just to prove everything, we know that if we come and write up here, Mariam is 28, Andrew is 31, and Pierre is 35. So look at your statement. It says Andrew is 3 years older than Mariam. You see, 31 is 3 more than 28. Good. Mariam is 7 years younger than Pierre. 28 is 7 years less than 35. So which proves our full maths to be true. All right. I hope we are still together. When we conduct our class, we want it to be a live class so that you can be asking questions as we go along. But if you watch a pre-recorded class, that's still fine. You can always comment with your questions so that I can have a look at your questions and then we discuss them. Let's look at number 7. Number 7 says, the minimum score for admission into a certain college is 40%, just like our admission to Nust. The admission test is set out of 75 marks. What is the least mark that TT must score in the admission test out of 75 to gain admission into the college? So what we are trying to say here is very simple. We are working with percentages. So the first question is, we know the total marks is 75 marks. For you to be admitted, you need 40%. But then we want to know how many marks are 40% from this total. So you want to find 40% of 75 marks. So if you have done maths slightly even in high school, even if you have done it long time, you remember the rule that we used to do in high school or primary school even, which says BODMAS. Alright? It stands for brackets of, so these are brackets. The O is for off, the D is for division, the M is for multiplication, the A is for addition, and the S is for subtraction. Alright, so here we have our off. Off is simply another way of saying multiply by. 40% multiplied by 75. So we come and say 40% times 75. Again, we have our calculator. We want 40. Percentage sign is this one on the bracket sign, but anything in yellow, you press shift to get that. We want 40% of 75. So a person must get 30 marks. As you can see clearly, it means it's 30 marks. So you must get 30 marks in order to be admitted. That will make up your 40%. So you can also calculate backwards and see if the answer is correct by saying if I get 30 out of 75 multiplied by 100, because we want to make it a percentage, does that give me 40%? Let's see. 30 marks out of 75 marks, make it as a percentage, you multiply by 100, you see it's 40%. Okay. Let's look at number 12. Number 12 says, Anne, Maria, and Tracy are friends. Anne donated 1/10 of a 12,500 salary to save the child trust. 1/10. So we can start marking out our ratios. 1/10, we can even write it out. It's 1/10. Maria donated 12% of a salary of 10,500, and Tracy donated 1,200 to the same trust. How much did the three friends donate to the trust all together? So let's start with N. N donated 1/10 of, we said of means multiply. So it donated 1/10 of 12,500. Again, we don't have to crack our heads. We come and use our calculator. 1/10 of 12,500. So N donated 1,250, as you can see. 1,250. And then Maria donated 12%. So 12% times a salary is 10,500. So how much would that give us? All right, so it's 12. Again, percentage sign of 10,500. It's 1,260, as you can see. 1,260. And then we know that Tracy gave 1,200. So we want the total that they donated all together. So we can start with 1,260 plus 1,200 plus 1,250. So altogether they donated 3,710. So this is a topic on ratio and rate. We're going to cover it in our class. Number 13 says, the cost of making a telephone call is fixed, 15 cents for each call. So fixed. So whether you get answered or you don't speak on the minutes, it will just charge you a fixed for making the call, 15 cents. And then 20 cents for each minute. Agnes made a call that lasted 8 minutes to Buchi. 20 minutes later, Agnes made another call that lasted 12 minutes again to Buchi. What is the total cost for the 2 calls that Agnes made to Buchi? Give your answer first in cents and then in dollars. Alright, so let's start. So we know on call number 1. Let's have call number 1. Is Agnes will pay 15 cents plus 8 minutes times 20 cents for each minute. So that's 15 cents plus 20 times 8, that's 160 cents. So altogether it becomes 175 cents. All right, we work on call 2. Call 2, he also is going to be charged 15 cents when he makes the second call, and then he will speak for 12 minutes at 20 cents. So you will be charged 15 cents plus 240 cents. So altogether it's 255 cents. So now we want to put together the 2. $175 plus 255. So it's 430 cents. So the first answer, it should be in cents, 430 cents. Now when we want it in dollars, we know there are 100 cents in a dollar. So we simply divide by 100, which will give us $4.30. Okay. So here we divide by 100, which gives us $4.30. Like that, just like that. And then we go to number 14. Number 14 says, simplify. So again, we go back to what we talked about, BODMAS. Brackets of division, addition, multiplication. So we start with brackets. In our brackets we are subtracting. So 21 minus 9 gives you 12. So we have 12 outside, and the answer in the bracket you get also 12. What does the bracket mean? The bracket means multiply. So in other words, you have 12 by 12, which gives you a total of 144. Alright, so they want you to show this working. You can come and just get the answer in your calculator, but you will lose marks because you can simply come and do like this without stressing yourself. But if you think you're not stressing yourself, you have it wrong because you actually lose all your marks. They want you to simplify, so you need to show the steps. Similarly, in this particular question, we also start with the bracket. So we have our 2 outside. Our bracket is 3 plus 15 divided by 3. So according to BODMAS, we start with division and multiplication. So we start with our division. So we have our 3 plus 15 divided by 3. We know it gives us 5. We go to the next stage. Still 2 outside. We fix the bracket. 3 plus 5 gives you 8. We know brackets means multiply. So final answer is 16. All right. Number 18 says, the following is part of a quotation. Fill in the 6 missing amounts. All right. So far, here we don't have to stress so much. We just deal with our calculator there. It says 25 chickens at $75. So 25 chickens at 75 gives you 1,875. A canopy, 6 hours at 35 per hour. So 6 at 35 per hour. 210. $80 chairs at $5 per hour. I think this was a party. That's why we have all these things. So yeah, we also are going to party after we get admission to Nust, which will be cool. By joining this class, you guarantee yourself that you definitely be admitted, because if you pass with super nice marks, your chances are higher. If you pass but with low marks, you might still not be admitted, because you must remember you are also competing with high school students who are also looking forward to be admitted. So make sure your mature age test is cloppered appropriately. Teach it a lesson. The same way we are teaching each other a lesson right now. Alright, so when you put all this together, the amount that I get is 5,985. So here, 5,985. And they told me that my VAT is 15%. So that amount you just multiply by 15%. So your VAT will be 897.75. $897.75. So remember, you always add your VAT. So now we have your 5,985 plus your VAT 897.75 gives you a total of 6,882.75. 6,882.75. Very easy. That's how it goes when you have a good teacher. Things work out well, you understand, and you become ready for your own better. Let's look at number 19 as we finish up this test. The sum of 3 angles of a triangle is 180. determine the value of x in the following triangle. So we know if we put together this angle, which is 5x, and another angle which is 3x, and another angle which is 2x, we must get 180 degrees. Alright, so x's, think of them like calculators. 5 calculators plus 2 calculators plus 3 calculators. It means you will have 10 calculators. And remember, our calculators is represented by x, equals to 180. So when you are working out equations, you always want to remain with the unknown alone. So in this case, we want to remain with x alone. How do we get x to stay on its own without the 10? So to leave x without the 10, we divide by 10. We divide by 10. So now the x is on its own, and 180 divided by 10 is 18 degrees. So x is 18. You don't have to put the degree sign because they already wrote for you degrees. Finally, calculate the average of the numbers 255, 172, 315, negative 393, negative 243, and 194. Whenever they ask for average or they ask for mean, this it's also sometimes called mean. All you simply have to do is add everything and divide by the number of how many there are. So we're going to add 255 plus 172 plus 315 plus negative 393 plus negative 243 plus 194. We divide by, how many numbers are these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 numbers, so we divide by 6. So what we simply do is we come and get our calculator. We first do the addition. So it's 255 plus 172 plus 315 plus bracket negative 393 plus bracket negative 243 plus 194. So the total for everything is 300. Divided by 6. So we know once we divide by 6, we get 50. So there you have it, guys. So sign up for the class, book the class so that you don't miss out. I'll prepare you, I'll help you so that you understand each and every topic that will be asked in this test, so that whichever way it comes, you will be ready and waiting to pounce on it.